GM, my dear fellow game developers, Godot and Web3 enthusiasts, I've come back from the trenches. You can see from my beard, I've been in head down building mode. We have just released Godot SDK 1.3, which is like a big upgrade. It fixes so many bugs, adds so many new features. But what this whole tutorial is about the core asset integration, which is a complete game changer. And let me just go over and do a little bit of an overview of what it is. So I'm not gonna get too much into details because I'm not a professional myself. I just know how to mint them, how to edit them. But basically, it's a new type of NFT, a new type of concept for an NFT. All this time, before the core existed, NFTs and tokens were created on the same token program, which for the NFTs, it got too strict. And had so much bloat and so many off-chain metadata and everything that the price of creating NFT rose up quite dramatically. And now it's like 0.02 or something sol, which is unsustainable at the current Solana prices, at least. And the core assets now are on a separate Metaplex made program. So basically now tokens go on a token program and the assets, previously known as NFTs, go on the core program. So basically, if you just create an asset, it's going to be just the name and URI, the off-chain metadata of an asset. It's going to be lean, slim, very small asset for some, mostly for art. But the core NFTs have a lot of like this game-oriented potential, which comes with plugins. So whenever you mint an NFT, an asset, you can also add whatever plugin you want on top. So it becomes the creation of NFT becomes modular, and later on you can edit and delete those plugins as well. One of them, which I think is my favorite one, is the attribute plugin, which makes it so that attributes of an NFT, which were previously off-chain and you weren't able to edit them the classic way with just smart contract, now you can do it with on-chain attributes. And this is what we're gonna try and create in this tutorial. Okay, so what are we starting with? I guess maybe let's go to the Solana service, which is like the main autoload script, which has everything you need. So we have logged in with our wallet and everything. We have all those things set up. And this is the part I'm talking about, the core manager. I'm gonna go over some scripts and show you how it kind of works, and then we're gonna go and create some assets. So the core manager, it has mint collection, edit collection, burn collection, manage collection plugin, and the same for assets, because now collections and assets are kind of different type of assets, and you're gonna see a bit later on. Mint asset, edit asset, burn asset, manage asset plugin. And these things, they go a bit deeper, so they have more information can be seen in core collection manager, core asset manager, but what we care about is just this core manager, and we now know that we can call these functions if we know the required arguments. And what this is going to do is going to create an instruction, send a transaction, and just return that it successfully completed. So we can start maybe with this. We can say var, I think it's going to be just transaction data, because what it returns, it just returns the transaction data, each of these things. So we can know if the transaction was successful or not. So transaction data is await Solana service core manager, because you'll see right here in Solana service, we have all these things right here. See, kind of machine manager, asset, all of these are connected through the Solana service. So Solana service core manager, and we are going to do a very, very simple mint asset. And mint asset is just going to require name and URI. So we can maybe just prepare this for name asset name string. Let's say it's going to be cool frog, and URI example.com, whatever. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Now set asset name, then it says what's the URI. URI is this. Now it requires for collection, and we're gonna get to it a bit later once we create a collection, but for now let's just do null, because we want this asset to be on its own without being attached to any collection. Custom recipient, when I mint this, should it go to me or should it go to some pubkey, which is a custom another wallet? Let's do null. And also plugins, an array of plugins. We don't have any plugins at the moment, so we're going just to say I don't think we even need to add those, because these are all optional parameters. But yeah, I think I can just run it. Let's try and see if when running it, is it going to work. This is absolutely terrible. Guys, I'm so stupid. Spent like an hour figuring out why it didn't work. Turns out I need to log in first with my wallet. Unfortunate. Well, I mean, that's really easy to do. I guess instead of ready, here we can just do Solana service wallet on login success connect test core features, something like this. And then we're gonna set it like so, and we're just gonna do Solana service wallet try login. That should be it, because we have passed in our Solana service, we have passed in our key pair, so we don't need to wait for anything, we don't need to sign anything. It should just work and then trigger this function. So pass is not necessary here, and just like so. And now let's try and see if we can, I rename it to lame frog for testing, but we need to go with a cool frog. So that, I think, should be it. Now it should work proper. Let's see, fingers crossed. Minting in progress, and that's it. It was a successful mint. Now there's one very important thing, is that now we need to be able to fetch this. Try and just hard code it. Var test asset, which is going to be string. Let's set it to this one, so we can then now inspect it. Oops. And also here in ready, I guess, because we don't need to log in for that, we can just set asset just data. Let's just do data, which is going to be dictionary. We can set to await Solana service. Fetch asset should be fetch get asset data. Get asset data, and we need to set asset ID. So I guess let's just maybe just go like this. Pub key new from string, because we cannot pass in the string. We need to pass the actual pub key, and test asset should be good. And let's try and see print data. And for now, let's just ignore this so it wouldn't create a new NFT. Let's just return it. And now we're gonna see what's the data of this asset. We're fetching, and we did fetch it properly. So we're gonna go to JSON formatter in this one. Okay. And now we can expect this this asset. See, it's MPL core asset instead of an NFT. And this all information is DAS information. DAS RPC, which is another very complex concept which you're gonna need to implement in order to have core working. So it gives you so much information, which is especially important for core assets because it comes with a plugin. See, plugins, MPL core info, external plugins. So for example, if we add in some plugin to an asset, this information is going to be visible from here from the plugins, which we can then fetch and add display in our game, or maybe then use it for later editing of the asset. By default, it's not going to work. You need a Helios RPC. And I know it's getting a bit complicated, but you really need to use DAS RPC because it fetches NFTs like instantly. This is the only way. You definitely need DAS RPC. So what I would recommend you as well is to set up your own Helios RPC. You can have a free tier, which is going to give you some credits, not too much, but it's going to be enough for you to play around with. And when you get yourself an API key, what you will need to do is in Solana service, you will add it to Helios API. You will add your key right here. All you need to do is check override DAS RPC. Because one more thing, in Solana service, you're gonna see get asset data. So it's gonna fetch the DAS compatible RPC, and using it, it's gonna try to fetch the DAS data. So one more thing we'll try to do now is create a new asset. And this time we're gonna create it using a plugin. And with a very easy way to create it with a plugin, export var plugin info. Maybe, I think so. Yeah, plugin info, which is going to be plugin authority pair. Let's see how this looks in right here. Plugin info. I can create a new authority pair. Actually, you know what? Plugin authority pair only gives you access to one plugin, but when creating an asset for the first time, you can add as many plugins as you want. Only later on you will be able to only add or remove plugins by one. But when you create one, you can add as many plugins as you want. So let's just try and do it just like that. So let's set asset plugins, which is going to be an array of plugin authority pair. And it should now change right here, asset plugins. So we're gonna add a plugin authority pair, which is gonna be attributes. And let's set new attributes to, there's a lot of things moving around, but you'll see. New attribute, and we'll set the key to cool, true, right? Because it's a cool frog, so we need the attribute cool to be true. So let's try and create one more cool frog, but with the plugin. Now, here where it just says an empty for plugins, we're just gonna add the asset plugins right here. And now when we mint an NFT, we should mint it with these plugins that we have preset. So you could just have like, the easiest approach would be just to have pre-made plugins. Whenever somebody mints something, you just add like verified owners or royalties and stuff like that on every asset that gets minted. So let's try and see if it works. And yep, asset created successfully. And this one is H8B. Let's just copy that, exit, and set it right here for fetching. So again, we're going to return it, and right here we're gonna set the asset to show. And let's try and inspect it one more time, the new asset, and let's try and see if the plugin information fetched successfully. And now if I go all the way down, plugins, see? This is what you need to go to see. Plugins, attributes, data, attributes list. All right, so that was quite a doozy. I really hope I didn't lose you. It was quite a long and difficult episode, just to set up all the theory and everything. And in the next episode, we're gonna try to just create a collection, edit collection, set an asset to collection, and try maybe set some plugins. See you there. Bye bye.